بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم ولعن أعداءهم. Dua for day 14 of the holy month of Ramadan, in which we recite اللهم لا تؤاخذني فيه بالعثرات وأقني فيه من الخطايا والهفوات ولا تجعلني فيه غرضا للبلايا والآفات بعزتك يا عز المسلمين. We'll focus inshallah on the first two lines of this dua, in which we ask from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to not hold us accountable for our mistakes and for our unintended sins, and to act as if we have never committed them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who is pardoning always His servants. He is forgiving them. He is overlooking their sins, especially for the believers who truly strive to obey Him and to fulfill His commands. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promises the believers, إن تجتنبوا كبائر ما تنهون عنه نكفر عنكم سيئاتكم. If you avoid those big and grand sins that we have warned you about, then we will forgive for you for your smaller sins and cover them up as if you have never committed them. This is especially for somebody who in his lifetime is trying to serve Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but of course, because of his human nature and because of the shaitan and because of his desires and the temptations and so on and so forth, he makes a mistake here and there. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala overlooks the person's mistakes. Al-Imām Ali alayhi السلام speaks on behalf of the believers who make these mistakes every once in a while, and he says in an استغفار of his, وَكَمْ قَدْ أَخْطَأْتُ فَلَمْ تُؤَاخِذْنِي. How many times have I made mistakes towards myself, towards you, but you never held me accountable for these mistakes. وَكَمْ قَدْ عَثَرْتُ فَأَقَلْتَنِي عَثْرَتِي. And how many times have I tripped and fallen while walking on this path and treading this path of goodness and of righteousness. I trip here and there, but you picked me up and you acted as if I never fell down and never strayed away from this path. وَلَمْ تَأْخُذْنِي عَلَى غِرَّتِي. And you did not take me and hold me accountable while I was in that state of ghafla and unconsciousness towards you and towards your commands. However, if one expects from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to pardon them and not hold them accountable for their mistakes, then he must make sure not to hold others accountable for their mistakes, which may happen towards oneself every once in a while. The Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in a narration says, يا معشر من أسلم بلسانه ولم يسلم بقلبه. O you who have become Muslim with your tongue and through your tongue, you claim to be Muslims, but Islam has not yet reached your hearts. What is the Prophet's message to them? لا تتبعوا عثرات المسلمين. Do not follow after the mistakes of the Muslimin. Do not put so much attention to this person did this mistake and did this sin and keep it in mind to attack them with it later on. Don't go looking around for people's flaws and mistakes. Why? The Prophet warns, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, فَإِنَّهُ مَنْ تَتَبَّعَ عَثَرَاتِ الْمُسْلِمِينَ تَتَبَّعَ اللَّهُ عَثْرَتَهُ وَمَنْ تَتَبَّعَ اللَّهُ عَثْرَتَهُ يَفْضَحُهُ. For verily, the person who goes after and looks for the flaws and the mistakes of the Muslimin, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will go, if we can say, and look after this person's flaws. And if he does that to somebody, then he will certainly expose them. Insha'Allah, none of us are like that. And because these are the days of al-Imām al-Hasan عليه أفضل الصلاة والسلام and his birth, al-Imām al-Hasan عليه أفضل الصلاة والسلام was known for his hilm and his patience towards those who did not treat him the way he's supposed to be treated and did not respect him the way that he should be respected because of his status in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is narrated that one person came from Sham, from Damascus, from the Levant, and he came to Medina and he saw al-Hasan Mustafa salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi, and once he recognized whom he was, he began to curse him and to send la'an, God forbid, towards him, and so on and so forth. After he was done saying what he had to say towards the Imam asked him and said to him, it seems like you're somebody who's not from here. You're somebody who is a foreigner. Do you need somewhere to stay? We have a place for you to stay. Do you need guidance for the path and to know how to get to your destination? We can help you and guide you. Do you need food? We can feed you. Do you need clothing? We can clothe you. The Imam could have definitely attacked the man back and treated him how he treated him, and that's his right perhaps. But this is from the hilm and from the patience and overlooking the not just the mistakes of others, but to curse the Imam is something more than just a mistake. But this shows how overlooking and pardoning the Imam was for those people, especially people who were ignorant and didn't know any better. And because of this interaction and this kindness of the Imam, the man says that after that situation, I entered the city hating nobody more than I hated al-Hasan al-Mujtaba and his father, al-Imām Ali alayhi السلام. But when I left the center of this city, I loved no one more than I loved al-Imām al-Hasan and his father. All of this because of the Imam's pardoning and overlooking the mistakes and sins of others towards him. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to follow the footsteps of al-Imām al-Hasan al-Mujtaba alayhi السلام and to achieve his intercession in the afterlife, inshaAllah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.